So I'm going to be rebuilding the diamond axle with these brass upgrades, and we're going to see how they fit. So right now we're going to disassemble the brass upgrades. First thing I'm going to do is have my parts bin ready. We're going to be removing the actual bolts that come with the actual axles. I'm going to be taking off the bearings because this whole piece is going to come out. We're going to be using a 1.5 millimeter Allen key. We're going to go to the bottom or the top, whichever one you choose to get your screw out of. I'm going to put that on that side. Then I'm going to rotate this and take this screw out of this side. Okay, drop that into place. Now, when removing this piece of the axle and the axle itself, we're going to slide that out like so. And then we're just going to pull the axle out of the arm or the knuckle, whatever you want to call it. Be mindful that there is a pin inside this axle, as you can see it right here, that pin. So you don't want that to fall out. So we're going to place that into the parts bin, nice and neat. And it already looks like some part of the pin fell out. We'll deal with that in a minute, but at least everything is in the parts bin right now. So all we have left here is a bearing. So we're going to let that bearing come out. The bearing fell out like so. Okay, so this piece we could put to the side. Now, I should have told you guys, but I was too busy concerned about the actual axle. We have these two bushings that are in here. As you can see where my thumb is pointing. Got one on each side on this C-clamp thing. So you can either turn it over and give it a tap and it'll fall out. Or if you need to give it a little persuasion, you can push it with your Allen key. So we're going to set that aside. Now, we're going to remove this C-clamp because we're going to be putting the new C-clamp on here. So counterclockwise, 1.5 millimeter is going to get that done. If you notice, the bearing is still in place, which is fine for now. All right, now we're going to remove the C-clamp. So I'm going to give it a little wiggle back and forth, and as you can see, it's separating. Very nice. Now I'm going to rotate this, and you could see the outline of the bearing. We're going to take the Allen key and just push on one side slowly, and then on the other side, and back and forth. It's already halfway out, so you just want to push around in the circular motion. Watch that your finger's not in the way, and then the bearing should just drop out with no problem. If you're scared about scratching this and a little nervous because it's your first time pushing a bearing with the Allen key, that's fine. If you have a Q-tip, I prefer a Q-tip to push it out because it won't scratch or dent the bearing or scratch the aluminum. All right, so we're going to put these products on the side here. I'm only going to show you guys how to build one side. You're going to be able to take it from there and do the other side. So right now we're going to get the C-clamp product that we have here. We're going to open this up, this bag. My main goal is to not cut these two bags that have the Ziplocs on them. And now I'm going to pull these bags out. Discard that. Be very careful if you're using a X-Acto knife and you're under the age of X-Acto knife use. Ask an adult for help. Okay, so in this packet, you have the C-clamp in brass. We have the hardware, okay? And then we have the other C-clamp in brass. So we're going to take this C-clamp, brass C-clamp. It's going to have a stamp on it that says INJORA right there. We're going to want that to be facing up with the other one. So this is where the steering assembly goes. So we're just going to be mindful of that installation part and put this right in here. Line that up and just make sure that it's flush. All right, at this point we're going to take the screws. Before we take the screws and install them, I recommend getting a bottle cap or something to hold some thread lock, blue thread lock. Pour it into your whatever you have to hold it. Close your thread lock back, put it to the side. Get the screws that we took out. We're gonna line them up on the Screwdriver if you can. We're going to get some thread lock. As you see there, that might be too much, but that's fine. Then we're going to get that screw into place and just start snugging that down. I'm going to get the other screw, get it lined up with my Allen key, get right up into place, and then start snugging them down. So I don't know if you guys could see it in the video, but I could see it in person and in the video. Inside there, it looks like a little crud. So I'm going to actually tell you guys a story. I had an incident where I was in the bathroom and I was trying to grab these, and I spilled a whole bunch of these Q-tips. So instead of throwing them away, I just gathered them up, put them in a Ziploc, and now I use them for cleaning parts. So there we go. We got that crud out of where the bearing is going to sit. We're going to take the bearing, put that into place, and then we're just going to snug these bolts down. Make sure they're nice and snug. Okay. I just use the 2 fingers to twist. Don't go crazy because you don't want to snap them off in the aluminum. You'll just have a horrible day and you might just destroy everything, and it's very, very difficult to fix. Okay, so now we're going to take these 2 pieces, the new hardware, these, I don't know exactly what these are called, but we're going to take these 2 pieces and put them into the C-clamp. One on one side, you're going to want that flat part facing on the inside, and then one on the complete opposite side. All right, just like that. And then I'm going to hold them and spin them around because I want to sit this down. So if you can put them, before you put those on, make sure that this part is facing up so it can sit on the table without tipping over or anything. So now we're going to grab this brass piece. I'm going to grab another Q-tip and clean the inside of here real quick. Looked like it needed it a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same for here, a little bit here. All right. So now the axle, oh no, it fell apart. And of course, it's not falling apart easily. So I'm going to show you guys how to assemble it. Hopefully you have all the pieces. The pieces that we're looking for is going to be the axle itself, a pin, I call it the drive pin. This is the holding pin. I don't know what these things' names are. And then this piece. So you need all 4 of these pieces to make this thing work again. If you lose one, you might have an issue. So the assembly is fairly simple. We're going to take this piece right here, and we're just going to go into the circle part, and we're going to line it up. I'm going to line up that hole so that way we can see it. All right, like that. Then we're going to take this piece, go over that piece, and just try to keep the hole visible between all of them, like that. And then we're going to take the pin and put the pin through all of them and trying to catch it on the other side. So that way it's flush like that. All right, when you have that done, you could take the bearing and just push the bearing over everything, and it should sit flush like that. And then that bearing is going to hold that pin from falling out, and you shouldn't have any other issues. And then at that point, you could take the steering knuckle and push the axle and the bearing inside and get it holding like that. So now the steering part is facing down on the axle over here. So I'm going to hold it facing down as I pick the axle up, put the drive shaft into the axle itself, or put the axle into the drive shaft, or whatever you want to call it. Everything's names are weird. So you're going to have to be able to rotate that so it can slide into place. And then that's all ready to go. So right now I'm going to put that down so I can grab these screws. Get them ready on the screwdriver. Thread lock. You don't have to go crazy with the thread lock. And then we're going to get that into position. We're going to line that up and start screwing that into place. Rotate that for the back end to get the other side. And then we're going to grab the other screw. Set it up. Get thread lock. More thread lock. All right. And then we're going to get that into place. All right, so you want to just make them snug. And you should be able to get a wiggle like that. I think my thread lock tightened up too much on this side, but there we go. So now both of them are going, so we're good. As long as you can make them click, they're good to go. So now we're going to take this bearing, drop that down into place. We had a pin in here somewhere. Oh no, we didn't have a pin on this side. Oops, sorry. That's in the other hardware. So we're just going to find the bolt and put the bolt back on. And then right there, we have all the brass accessories on our diamond axle. So I don't remember offhand what the diamond weighed by itself with all the aluminum parts. We have 52 grams. Right, so that's what that. The plastic is not going to weigh that much, so I'm just going to throw this on there. 62 grams. Slide them off. 62 grams, everything all together. So, but it weighs now 73 grams, 72 grams. And then with the rest of the hardware that it comes with, is going to be that. So that's 83. And then I believe it was this bag full of all this crazy hardware. I'll throw that on there. We got 97, 96. I feel like throwing the servo on there right now, but we're not going to do that. So as of right now, we got 96 grams of product in the front of the vehicle with all this brass on it. All right, so I hope you guys liked the video. Hope this helps you guys out. With that being said, this is Urban Crawlers. Thank you guys for watching. Later.